Hello?
Eureka, Billy Jean!
Bobby Riggs. Listen, I have a great idea.
Male chauvinist pig versus hairy-legged feminist. No offense.
You're still a feminist, right?
I'm a tennis player who happens to be a woman.
Don't hang up.
By the way, I shave my legs.
$100,000 to any woman who can beat Bobby Riggs. Is she out there, and does she have the nerve?
Call Bobby. Tell him it's on.
The Battle of the Sexes.
Recently, I had the delightful opportunity to spend some time with legendary Billie Jean King. We talked about a lot of issues, what's going on in the tennis world, and we also talked about the battle of the sexes. Let's start with some issues. The thing that has been out there, the headlines, that has been the controversy surrounding John McEnroe's comments about Serena Williams. Mm-hmm. What was your first reaction when you heard what John had said about Serena?
I thought, here we go again. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Not surprisingly, it being John McEnroe.
A lot of people don't realize, but John and people have been trying to put John and Serena together for 15 years. Different promoters, different people. John says yes, Serena always says no. So at least that's my understanding. I could be wrong.
A redo of you and Bobby
I could be
Riggs.
wrong. I even had a couple of people come to us to try to help
Right.
facilitate. The only reason I did play Bobby Riggs back in '73 was because Margaret Court lost to him. And he'd been following me around for 2 years trying to get that match to happen. Professional tennis is just in its infancy,
Right.
but women's tennis was only in our third year, the year I
A
played.
lot of people don't realize that.
And we're, it's a very tenuous position. We start out with a blank piece of paper, basically, and had to create this infrastructure of tournaments. But my want was always to do team tennis, just to have men and women together equally. Just like it's my philosophy on life.
Yeah.
If you watch a World Team Tennis match, you see exactly how I want the world to be. But John
When
and
you
Serena.
see, what did you think?
First of all, he's trying to sell his book, which I'm going to give him a plug because I love John. And by the way, he's a feminist, so that's even funnier.
Yeah.
He's a total feminist, by the way.
So he basically afterwards said, look, there are two things. He said, I am absolutely convinced that Serena Williams is the greatest women player of all time. I'm saying is that things.
Do you realize guys are the only ones that bring this up? Because women always tell, here's our shtick from day one. We're not as good as the guys because you have androgens, testosterone. We're not going to beat you, period. Okay? Right. Physically, it's impossible. Right. All right? The top women cannot beat the top guys. Done. Right. Now, when John said 700, I thought that was a little much.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
But I don't know where
that
cutoff is, and it depends on the style of play, what court surface. Right. But the point is, it's like, who cares? I don't even care because all I want the men to do the best they can do and the women to be the best, and I want everyone to have a chance to be in their sport or if they want to be a scientist and go into research. I want all these opportunities available. But so when he brings that up, and I know it was tongue-in-cheek, I think at the end of one of his interviews, thanks, Bobby, for throwing the match or whatever. And he didn't throw the match. I mean, I can tell you exactly.
Right.
Jerry Parenchio, who promoted the match back in '73, he sat down with me. He says, I am telling you right now, here was the plan for Bobby. He was going to beat you. Then he was going to go $1 million winner take all and try to get Chris Evert.
If Margaret had beaten him, would you have ever played Bobby?
No.
So that
been
great
great.
match never would have happened.
No. But I knew my match was about social change because Title IX had just been passed the year before, June 23rd, 1972. And that says no sex discrimination. That means any federal funds going to a private, public, high school, college, or university for the first time had to spend it equally on men and women.
There's a couple of other issues let me talk about. Margaret Court, who you mentioned before. Again, another legendary tennis figure.
Oh, she's won more Grand Slams, 64.
Than anybody.
Than anybody else, man or woman.
Right. Some comments recently have generated a great deal of, I think it's fair to say, a significant amount of controversy.
Oh, it has.
Yeah. She talked about, and these were her words, that the Women's Tennis Tour, as she said, full of lesbians, her words.
About 10%, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
And talked about predatory, again, her word, predatory conduct.
It's really, really outrageous.
So your reaction when you hear Margaret,
it's absolutely false.
and somebody you know and played against.
No.
First of all, is any of that?
No, absolutely
true?
Not. People, we don't do that. No.
No. What does it suggest?
In fact, I would say
what is that comment?
I would say it's something that's unknown to Margaret. She doesn't really understand. I think it goes against what she thinks the Bible says. Of course, she forgets that judge not that you be judged. I mean, that's also, you can bring anything out of the Bible you want to fit the occasion.
So, but people now are saying that her name should be taken off the court. What do you think of that?
I said no. I think she should keep the name. But then I thought, and I've been thinking about this, and I'd love your opinion actually, is that if she were talking about people of color or she was talking about something else, would people still allow that any place in the world? And I don't know, but I am very big on her keeping her name in because she's earned it. But then on the other hand,
Just from the tennis perspective.
From the tennis perspective, but then I'm thinking, it's just using different examples. People of color is one example. Would they leave her name on or not?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Last question for you. Movie's out. What do you think about the idea of a movie made about
I didn't have a choice. It's your public domain. They can do one
Yeah.
on Jack Ford too.
But are you looking forward to seeing it?
I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
It's really good.
What's your
it's
reaction
the
to it?
unexpected, really. I think in a lot of ways it goes. It's first of all, every single actor is A+++. We've got Steve Carell doing Bobby Riggs.
Right.
You've got the Academy Awards winner, with Emma Stone.
Right.
You've got Andrea Riseborough, who does a great job of.
It's a fabulous cast.
The cast goes on and on and on, and it's just amazing how great they are.
Billie Jean, it's just a pleasure.
It's great to see you, Jack, and I love watching Metro Focus. I'm a big PBS fan. My gosh.
Thank you.
I watch hours and hours and hours of PBS because I love mysteries.
A fan of yours for a lot of years. So
It's great
thank
to
you.
see
We'll
you.
get you back in and we'll talk some more.
That'd be great.